In this video, we'll cover the new configurable key features of Radius 3.0 and how they can be leveraged in the Radius sample app. These features consist of ToneLock, tone presence indicator, tone failure indicator, and multi-channel selection. First up, ToneLock is an optional security feature intended for transmitters and receivers that leverage our point tone profiles. ToneLock is not the same as encryption. However, encryption and ToneLock prevent the same man-in-the-middle attacks. Customers can still encrypt payloads themselves plus ToneLock for an additional layer of security. ToneLock works by taking a provided UUID from a developer using the Radius SDK and sets that UUID in the header of an outgoing tone transmission. If the UUID of the transmitted tone does not match the UUID set by the receiver, the payload cannot be received. This prevents anyone from being able to receive the payload except for the intended recipient, providing enhanced fraud control for merchants and consumers. This security feature can be applicable to any short-range, high-throughput data transmission where security is a priority. A few notes. The Radius sample app uses a static, predefined ToneLock UUID for demonstration purposes. Developers can input custom ToneLock values within the Radius SDK to set static or dynamic ToneLock values for every transmission. Next up, the tone presence indicator is a new feature in the Radius SDK that is triggered when the very first part of an incoming tone is detected. The indicator is displayed as a toast message in the sample app, but could also be used to alter the UI in other ways leveraging the Radius SDK. The tone presence event can be a helpful UX control value by informing end users that the rest of a larger tone is incoming using zone tones or to hold their device steady while receiving point tones. Next, the tone failure indicator is a new feature with the SDK that is triggered when it fails to receive a tone whose presence was detected. It can be used in an application to let end users know how difficult it was to receive a tone or how to improve physical positioning if a tone fails to be received. The Radius sample app uses this feature as an indicator on the receive screen that presents a pop-up message when the tone failure event is enabled and triggered. The Radius SDK also provides signal strength and quality values for every tone received. The signal quality results for each received tone are displayed in color as backgrounds to the microphone icon. A failed tone will result in a gray color. For context, yellow quality does not indicate failure or issue with the detection. Lower quality simply indicates that the tone was more difficult to receive due to distance or lack of line of sight between speaker and microphone. This places end users of applications leveraging Radius to be better informed, providing a better user experience and value to all parties involved when physical measures like orientation instruction can be taken to improve results. Last, the multi-channel selection feature allows unique transmissions to be sent simultaneously on separate channels, increasing the possibilities of how customers and merchants can exchange data, providing leading-class transaction control. By default, Radius tones will transmit on a single channel, channel 1. With Radius multi-channel, up to 2 additional channels, channel 0 and channel 2, can be leveraged to transmit a single, 2, or 3 unique data payloads at the same time that can be received on the intended device simultaneously. This provides the flexibility to send multiple payloads or use 2 different tone profiles at the same time. A few notes. The sample app only allows 1 tone profile to be used across all channels. However, developers can use different tone profiles on each channel with the Radius SDK. The sample app also only allows 1 customized payload to be transmitted across all channels. Likewise, developers can input different payloads for each channel with the Radius SDK. Concluding with multi-channel selection is a great segue into our next and final topic on transceivers and bidirectional transmission.